Where's the camera? Oh, there. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow,
So-
what a great venue, what a great bunch of people. So amazing, yeah. Wow, thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming all the way over here. I know it's on a Sunday and it's normally not the day that you are working, but it's so much appreciated that you were able to come over today.
Mental health is around 24/7, 7 days a week too. So, you know, and it's really important for everyone. So
Yes.
that's why I'm happy and thankful to be here.
I'm so glad for that.
Yeah.
So I know we've worked together now for a while, but I know that probably a bunch of people at home are maybe hearing this for the first time.
Yeah.
Could you tell a little bit about what Mind does?
Yeah. So the Mind Foundation is a charity, and we have a mission which is a mentally healthy society in the Netherlands. We feel that people who are struggling with mental health issues, whether they're mild or severe, should be able to count on good support and understanding from the people around them. So family, friends, colleagues. The taboo or the shame that people feel, we want that to just dissolve. We want people to feel free to talk about whatever mental health struggles they have. So yeah, we're looking for a societal change and want people to get the proper support that's needed to recover from their mental health issues. Or if it's a condition that's permanent, which can be possible too, that they can find proper ways to deal with that so they can still have a good life quality.
Yes. Oh, that's such a great thing to do.
Yeah. Thank you.
So how would I see Mind? Like, what kind of projects are you currently working on that are how you're helping in such a sense?
Yeah, so we focus on 3 areas. One is quality of life. We want people to feel that they have a meaningful life which makes them happy. I mean, nobody's happy every day, every moment, but we want a certain basic level of happiness for everyone. So quality of life. The second area we focus on is the quality of care. So if you're living in a mental health institution because you really have severe problems and need help, we want that the care is of a high quality. And this also means that there should be no waiting list for people to get mental health. I mean, imagine you go to the hospital with a broken leg and they tell you, yeah, we're very sorry, but there's a waiting list for 1.5 years. Sorry, go home and figure it out. That would be insane, right? But this is true, actually, for mental health issues, which can be just as urgent. I mean, with a broken leg, you can still function. You can still go to work or do or play your games or do whatever you want to do, except for play soccer, I guess. But yeah, or walk maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can still function. But with something broken here in your mind, it can be extremely hard to just get up in the morning. For instance, if you're depressed, getting out of bed is just really, really difficult. And then to be told to just wait for 1.5 years, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that should change. So that's something we focus on also. So that's the quality of care and the speediness of the care. The third area we focus on is prevention, which means to prevent psychological problems or to prevent that it becomes worse.
Yeah.
And in these 3 areas, we have many, many programs, so I will not explain them all, but to give an example of the prevention, we have the Mind Young Academy, which is a project where young people suffering from mental health issues who have been able to learn how to deal with that, they are in school classes telling their life stories, so that I'm sorry, I'm not sure where to look. Should I look in the camera or should I look at you guys? I'm torn.
Just whatever feels right.
Oh, okay, I'll just look at you, I guess.
Yeah, that works.
Anyway, so young people with mental health issues are in class telling their life stories, and this enables young people to feel that they're not the only one dealing with shit. Secondly, that it's okay to talk about this. And thirdly, that it's possible to get help. There's help out there, even if it's not through the doctor or an official psychologist or psychiatrist. There are still many member foundations of the Mind Foundation that offer places where you can just go walk in, and you get a cup of coffee or whatever, and a chat, and you don't need to explain whatever is ailing or bugging you, because these are in Dutch we say ervaringsdeskundigen. I'm not sure how to translate that.
People with experience.
Yeah, people who are savvy because of their life experiences, and they know what an eating disorder is. And so you don't need to explain yourself. You can just feel that it's okay to be you with or without these problems. It's okay, you know, and that can be really helpful, for instance, when you're on a waiting list and you're, you know...
Yeah, that could already help so much, that you already have like some first point for like that you can, you know, open up about it, because that's in the end one of the most important things, I would think.
Yeah.
To like just be able to talk about it.
Yeah, being able to recognize for yourself that you may have a problem or something that is preventing you from being your happy self. If you're able to talk about that, then you're also able to ask and accept help, which is, I mean, okay, to be honest, I'm a person, my mother was, she had a psychosis after I was born. So there's postnatal depression, but there's also postnatal psychosis. And she stayed in that psychosis for many, many years. So I grew up, basically without a mom, because she was no guidance for me. And I had to figure out everything myself. So I'm used to doing everything myself. And it's really, really hard for a person like me to ask for help. But even me, I cannot do everything myself. And it's okay to ask for help when I need help. So, and I really want everybody here to know and to realize that it's totally fine to ask for help when you, and it doesn't matter what, you know, just, So maybe that's a nice bridge to where the donations go to.
Yeah, that definitely would be a great bridge as well, because like if people donating at home, like what concrete example could you give, like for like what are they donating towards instead of just a charity? Like
exactly.
So
This year the donations will go to the Mind Helpline. It's still called Mind Correlatie. And Correlatie is a very old, it already exists 50 years. It's now part of the Mind Foundation. It will be renamed within a year, I think, to the Mind Helpline. It's a free phone line that you can call, or you can send a WhatsApp, or you can email, or you can chat through the website, whatever you want. It's anonymous. So you don't have to say who you are, where you live, whatever, it doesn't matter. Everybody can call with whatever thing you want to talk about. And it's not, in the Netherlands we have the listening line, which is also a phone number that you can call and people listen to you. But our helpline has actual psychologists that are trained for helping people through a phone call or through WhatsApp. And they are trained to ask the right questions so that we get to the bottom of what is, bugging you. And they will give advice for the next steps for you to take So that you,
yeah, that's definitely way more than just listening.
Yeah,
like, that's
absolutely.
Gonna be more like you definitely need trained professionals for that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those don't come for free. That's,
Yeah, no, they have a salary. Also, the phoning system that we have is a bit outdated at the moment, so we are looking to improve that system, and the donations will also be spent on that. So yeah, it's to continue the helpline so that we can give good care. So that people are prevented from developing more serious mental health issues, or to prevent becoming, having mental health issues at all. So it doesn't matter if it's about. And you can also call for somebody else. So, for instance, if you have a partner or a brother, sister, mother, father who is suffering from mental health issues, please call, because I know from my own personal experience that this has an impact on your life as well. And because I'm 50 years old now, but I finally have my life on track now. But it took thank you. It took many decades, many decades to find my way because of the mental health issues of my mom. It can have such a big impact. So also when you have someone in your environment, and it's hard for you, please feel free to call.
Yeah, it's such a wonderful thing, because I can definitely. Because I can definitely understand that, like, you shouldn't be, even when you're closing your area, that you shouldn't be coping it all on your own, because there's like so many people out there who experience such a similar thing as well. That it's just so good to just be able to talk about it, like, with even the very. I can definitely understand from personal endpoint that I definitely wouldn't know at first, like, where would I go? Where do I go with something like this? So to be more aware of these kind of things and being able to have such a helpline, I think is going to be such a good change to get to the progress where these processes don't have to go for decades, that we can get to the top of it, like, within as quickly as we can, just so people can continue enjoying their life once more.
Exactly. We want everybody to have, everybody has a right to be happy and to be themselves. And we really want that for everybody, no matter where you're from. And so that's actually, so it's a Dutch foundation. Help is available in English, so you can also call from abroad. The website is in Dutch. But please feel free also, if you're able to speak English, to contact us. The phone number in the Netherlands is 0900 1450, so 1450.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, if you're calling from abroad, you should probably dial +31 and then 900 1450 or 0. Yeah. Or go to our website, which is mindcorrelation.nl.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for already telling us so much about
thank you, guys. Really appreciate your support. Really appreciate your support.
I feel like we could be talking about this for hours, but I think it's good to also go to, like, the next little section, because, I can understand that you also, since you're working with a lot of young people, that you also have talked about gaming as well as the experience for people, like how gaming affects the mental health for people. We actually have a few people over here as well who are willing to answer some questions
That's awesome.
regarding that. Do you have, like, any questions, like, specifically to what you think is, like, what could be interesting for, like, what gamers run into? Because I think that's relevant for the people at home as well, because I know most people watching are probably gamers as well.
Yeah.
Everyone here is a gamer, I know that much. So.
I'm wondering, because we're inside now, but outside it's summer and the weather's really beautiful. A lot of people are soaking up the very necessary vitamin D. Vitamin D is necessary for your for feeling happy and not becoming depressed. So I'm wondering, because I'm not a gamer, my hobbies are working in the garden and cycling and all things outside. So I'm wondering, how do gamers monitor or deal with vitamin D levels? How do you take care of? How do you prevent becoming depressed from vitamin D deficiency? Maybe that's the question.
I'm the least fitted person to answer this question because I'm from Portugal and we never have vitamin D deficiency. It's sunny all year round.
If you stand up, the people at home can see you.
Right. So,
what's your name, by the way?
I'm Siron. Yeah, I'm originally from Portugal. I'm now living in the Netherlands, and I've been mentally preparing myself for the winter, as I know that it's going to be dark most of the time. I'm not sure how concerning the vitamin D deficiency is going to be, but I feel like regardless, it is healthy to have some hobbies that involve you going outside. Here in the Netherlands, it's so easy to bike everywhere. I feel like the infrastructure encourages you to bike everywhere. So even just having to go outside and having to deal with the rain blasting on your face, I feel like that's still more productive than just being cooped up inside all the time. And I say this as someone who speedruns RPGs that are 8 hours long. So finding a good balance between exercising, even if it's going to the gym, which ends up being inside most of the time, finding people that encourage you to go outside and have people that motivate you to go outside and do things. Yeah. I think that's the best balance that we need to find to be able to strike in order to have a good
So it's all about balance.
It is about balance.
Yeah. And may I ask, do you have any experience with psychological or mental health issues yourself?
Yes, I have struggled with many things all throughout my life. I've had many moments where I've struggled with depressive episodes would be the best way to describe them. And I have to say that the speedrunning community has been one of the things that have pushed me through. I found my community in 2020 when I was struggling the most with, I'm not sure how appropriate to say here, but I was struggling not only with depressive episodes, but also with like suicidality. And it was like the speedrun helped me have a goal for the day, which was very hard to find, but it was the people that kept me going.
Wow, that's amazing to hear, and I'm so happy to hear that you found friends here who support you. That's really amazing.
And that's why it's so important for these events to exist, not only to raise money for a good cause, and you come here thinking that that's your main goal, to run your game, showcase your community, and raise money for, in this case, for Mind. But then you get here and you find these people, and that's what keeps you going.
Yeah, friends are so important. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course,
I really
thank you so much for listening.
Yeah. So, I had a couple of questions prepared, but I have to say that I'm blacking out, or how do you say that? But I do know that Mike here, you have experience with. Would you like to join us? You have experience with PTSS, right?
Yeah, PTSD.
PTSD. So, I'm sorry. Yeah.
For you people at home who might not know what PTSD means, it's post-traumatic stress disorder. I've been living with it for more than 15 years. And the 15 years are the amount of time that I've received help for it. I've had it much longer than that. So, as we all know, gaming is the best escape we can ever have, but it's not just an escape. It helps us connect with friends. Look what this has done. Look at what it's done for all of us. Yeah. We're here with friends.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, it's so important.
Yeah, and just finding friends, being able to connect with them, and just being able to come to an event like this is more help than what people at home could ever imagine. Mm-hmm.
But I sorry to interrupt, but you told me that you're from Sweden.
I'm from Sweden. Yeah.
And you have before you got help, there was a long waiting list, right? Yeah.
It has gotten better throughout the years. Sweden has come very far. The first time I got the information, I had to wait more than 2 years, but my issues were so severe that they kept pushing it back as far as they could, and so in less than 3 months, I finally received help because they have come that far.
Do you feel that you could have solved these problems that you were having by yourself?
No, not at all. I feel extremely lucky every day that I even received the help that I did, and it's going to be an irreplaceable part of my life, and that's not something anyone could ever take away from me.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So what would you, if you were to give advice or a tip, a suggestion to the BSG community, for those who are struggling with some mental health issues, what would you give as a suggestion?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. That is way important. It takes a
But
lot
what
of
if people
courage.
don't understand you or what you're dealing with?
Keep asking. I kept asking, and eventually someone did notice. And even if people don't notice, never give up hope, ever. Because when you give up on yourself, who are you? Who is going to believe in you?
Yeah, and maybe it's also well, I found personally I've also had therapy, but to be honest, the first therapist I had, and I went there for 3 years, was crap.
Yeah,
Sorry
that
to
can
say,
happen.
but it didn't really help me. And later I found out that sometimes there has to be a good match. So
Yeah.
if you're not able to find the right person to help you this week, just keep looking. Try to keep an open mind, and it's because it's an investment in yourself. Try to find the right connection, and it can be a friend. It can be someone from the BSG community. It can be somebody from the Mind helpline, or somebody in your environment. It doesn't matter. We're all human, and people generally. You may not realize this, but people generally want to help. It makes you feel good to be able to help someone. So, yeah.
And sometimes helping someone else can also help yourself.
Absolutely true. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate it. So, you want to say something? I see. Come on. Hi. Good to see you again.
It's a pleasure to see you again. It's a pleasure to be here. I just wanted to have a couple of words, really, if you don't mind, regarding mental health. My name is Tiny Tim. I have been in the speedrunning community for about 5 years now, but I was never confident. I was very lacking in self-confidence, and in 2018, I was ill. I was depressed, and it was very. It's difficult to say, but I think it was a life-changing experience, but in a good way. It was a very negative experience at the time, and I was in a very, very dark place. I was in a hole and I couldn't get out, and it was very, very challenging. It was something I'd never experienced before. I'd become very obsessed with work, and everything else didn't matter. Everything else was just. I had no time for myself. I did nothing. I worked, and that was it, basically. And it wasn't healthy. And it reached a point where it had a very negative effect on my health, both mentally and physically.
Were you ready to give up?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I will quite happily say that I was potentially suicidal.
Yeah.
And I reached a stage where no, I wasn't. I'd had enough of
I've heard people say
life
that
in general.
Being suicidal does not mean that you want to kill yourself. It means that you are so desperate and that you see no way of getting out of a certain situation,
Yeah.
and that then the final thought is then, well, if I die, at least this all will end. This all will stop. Was that true for you, or how?
A little bit, but for me it was more of a case of, well, I don't see any. It wasn't I particularly wanted to kill myself,
No.
and I'm sorry if we're getting into dark territory here.
Yeah, it is a bit dark,
Apologies.
but I want to address it because I know, especially young people, sometimes really do struggle
Yes.
with this.
And it's something that but I had some help. I had my very close friend, I had my family, and I did get help. I went away and had some counselling. My work was incredibly supportive, which I was very lucky. And it was very, very, at the end of the day, it took a long time. It took counselling, it took medication, which I'm still on to this day. And I don't have any problem with that, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it works for you, then it works for you.
Exactly.
and I have been able to get past it, and not only get past it, but learn from it. And like I say, really, it was a life-changing experience, because I would not be here now without it.
I think that's such a beautiful and hopeful message that you're bringing here to Tiny Tim, because if you're able to overcome and find your way through these dark times, you come out stronger and you come out richer and more beautiful because of it, and you're able to inspire people. And I want to thank you for that. It's so beautiful. Wow. And the message, basically, if I may summarize that like that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the message to all people out there who are struggling is that it's worth to keep going. Just keep going through that dark tunnel. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and you will come out stronger and happier and you know.
Yeah.
So please.
Yeah.
Keep going.
One final thing. For me, it was more about believing in myself. I always struggled with my self-confidence and my self-belief. And I was able, after this, to believe in myself. And honestly, the one thing I must say, just to everybody, to yourself and to everybody, I feel appreciated. I feel loved. The number of people that I've met through speedrunning, that I've met through the charities, it has been life-changing, and I really, really appreciate everybody and all the help and support that I received to be standing here today. So thank you again.
Is it allowed to hug online? Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
all of you, for sharing that, because
Yeah.
it's definitely a thing, like you said, this is one of the things that should be normal to talk about, and that we can hopefully work together on making sure that we'll get there one step at a time, get a little bit closer, and make sure that everyone will be able to get through these times or mental health issues that they're going through, that will become better at one little step at a time.
Well, I'd like to thank, on behalf of everyone working for Mind, I want to thank the BSG community for being so generous, for having us, for donating. Thank you, everybody at home. Really appreciate it, and because it's an important topic, and just thanks from the bottom of my heart personally as well. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sabina, as well, for being here with us today. And you can stay in frame if you want, for this little bit. Yeah, thank you so much. And again, to everyone at home, I hope this gives you a good insight of where your money is going to if you're making a donation. Every donation is appreciative, because every little donation will help in reaching that goal. And with that, again, thank you so much for being here, sharing this with us. And we're now finally going to start with what you've also all been waiting for. It's the speedruns that we're going to be showing. Why we're here together. And we're going to start with a really fun one. We're going to be starting with Splatoon 3 Side Order by Detail 74. So definitely stay tuned for that while we're going to be setting that up. And from me, speaking for BSG, thank you so much, everyone, again, for being here, making this happen. And I hope you all have an amazing week.